As we approach Sefer Shemot, one of the major stories that we find in the development of Moshe is when he comes in front of the burning bush. And the Ribbon Shalom says in Perek Gimel Pasuk Hey, Shal na'alecha mi'al raglecha, ki ha'makom asher ata omeid alav admat kodesh. Already the Mefarshim, the Datzkenim, the Midrash, Rabbeinu Bachai, and many other Mefarshim, the Kli Yakar, all ask two major questions. Number one, what is the language of Shal na'alecha? Why didn't it say Chalotz min alecha? Take off your shoes. Furthermore, if you compare the same exact story here in the beginning of Sefer Shemot and look at Yoshua, where there, the same story, where HaKadosh Baruch Hu says in Sefer Yoshua, Perek Hey, Vayomer Sar Tzva Hashem al Yoshua, Shal na'alcha mi'al raglecha, ki ha'makom asher ata omeid alav kodesh. So what's the difference? Why? By Moshe Rabbeinu, it's in the plural, take off both of your shoes, but by Yoshua, just take off one of your shoes. A simple shot could very well be that shoes, in the terminology and the thought process of the Maharami Prague, based on Gemaras, is shoes is not a mabush shel kavod. You're about to be in a kavodic place, in a holy place. Take off the shoes. It's not mechubad when you're in a makom kadosh. If you look, the Rabbeinu Bachai, first the Datzkenim, asked that question, and Rabbeinu Bachai explains that Shal, it uses the language of Shal because it's Milashon Shlila. Take away all the physicality that the shoes represent. And what do you have to do? Because you now have to get ready for Nivua. Shal Nalecha, as opposed to Yoshua, is not on the same level. It tells us the Ma'ala of Yoshua, as the Gemara in Bava Basra says, was that Yoshua was not on the same level of Moshe. In stark contrast to Moshe Rabbeinu v'ata po amori mati, not like Yoshua, and therefore the two shoes is telling that Moshe Rabbeinu is on such a high level of not only b'chalom adaber, but really speaking pel peh im HaKadosh Baruch Hu. However, there's another interpretation. Another interpretation could very well be that it talks about the difference between Moshe in the Midbar and Yoshua, the people who are leading in Eretz Yisrael. Moshe Rabbeinu is, on a certain level, the Dor Midbar, the Dor Deya. You're being able at that point of Shal Na'alecha to be able, there is no roots in the Adama of the Midbar. It's a Midbar, and it's not the Kedusha. Even if there's Kedusha, it's not something that's Kedushat Haramoria. It's temporary. When you come to Eretz Yisrael, what do you need? It's not just all about the Shabbos experience, about a Havdalah, or about a beautiful Niggin and Kedusha. Those things are important. But first we have to keep one shoe on and one shoe off. The shoe, as opposed to the Maharami Prague, the shoe is not representative of a mabush of low level. But you could say hafuch, the bracha, that the Gemara in Brachot Daf Samach says that we used to make, some people maybe still do, most people don't. In the Birchot HaShachar, when they put on their shoes, is Sha'asa Li Kol Sarki. I heard 20 years ago from Rabbi Fran Shlita, who said that because the concept is, when you put on your shoes, you're saying, I am the master of my environment, of the animals, and the full environment. When I'm walking in the shoes, I am in control. And comes the Ribbon Shalom to say, Moshe Rabbeinu, you are in control, but Asher Ata Omeid Alav Admat Kodesh, representative of Torah Eretz Yisrael, which means on one level you need to have your shoe on. You need to be grounded, you have to have a strong tzavah, you have to be physically fit, and you have to be able to know how to deal in the business world, and you have to build hotels, it's a mitzvah. You have to have one shoe on. But don't think that you're the one who's in control totally, or even absolutely, you have to take one shoe off to say that you have to know that you're dependent on HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Maybe that's what the Gemara in Cholin says when describing what is a Yeled. The Gemara in Cholin says, on Daf Chav Daled, it says, who's a Yeled? 1 second. Chav Daled Beis. What's a Yeled? Omer Rabbalah, Omer Rab Chanina, Kol she'omeid al raglo achat. Choletz minalo, but noel minalo. Rav Soloveitchik would always say that there's times to be childish and there's times to be childlike. Childish is to be able to have fun, yeled sha'ashuim. But then there's the yeled, to understand that you have a tremendous amount to give and develop, and you realize the one shoe off is that you are able to conquer the world. That's the one shoe on. You take the one shoe off because you know that you're dependent on your parents and ultimately dependent on HaKadosh Baruch Hu. May we be able to be zocheh to learn this message as we have our dveikus with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, as we're building our relationship with Hashem, as we start Sefer Shemot, to understand the significance of every single morning when we put on our shoes, and understanding the matana that we have of understanding these nuance of shal na'alcha, one shoe, to know that you have to be strong within yourself, but also dependent on HaKadosh Baruch Hu.